Are you a starseed or a lightworker? If so, I'm going to show you how to discover and live your life purpose and your mission on this planet. Hi, I'm Saratoga Ocean. Welcome to my channel where I give you the knowledge you need to spiritually awaken and ascend with clarity and confidence. Lightworkers and starseeds come to this planet with a mission and a purpose. But it's often difficult to know what that is because society here on Earth does not recognize us as a galactic species, which we of course are because we are an integral part of this galaxy and of course a part of this universe. Society only recognizes us as industrialized slaves who are here to go to school, get a job, reproduce, and then retire and die. That is the controlled purpose that we each incarnate into. We are essentially told that we are here to fulfill someone else's agenda. And now things are even more difficult because that previous view of us is being eliminated due to everything that's been happening over the past year. They are taking all of that apart and preparing to shift us into an entirely different agenda. We don't know exactly what that new agenda is, but so far it seems to include a far more massive degree of control than ever before. So if you feel that you came here with a purpose, you might feel that you are living between two worlds. The old familiar one that is being dismantled entirely, and this new sort of in-between world where we are being transitioned into something else. Now, if you want to know if you are a starseed or a lightworker, you can check out these two videos that I made right here. And I'll put the links to those videos in the description below. Oh, and by the way, if you are a starseed, then you are automatically a lightworker as well. Now, I want to add something else. I created the two videos that I just mentioned with signs that you might be a lightworker or a starseed. But these signs are just meant to be indications. The most important thing is that you know in your own heart if this is true for you. You have to learn to trust yourself. See, you really have to be the final judge. You know, I think sometimes we have a tendency to rely too much on the internet to validate ourselves and our own feelings. And the internet can certainly be a great source of information, but you don't want to make it the final authority in your own life. I think it's a lot more empowering to view the information online as a support rather than letting some person on the internet have the final say about you. And you always want to use your own discretion because everything online is not necessarily always true. There is disinformation being sown everywhere by AI, by human Earth-based controllers, and by off-world extraterrestrial controllers. So you need to be strong and intuitive within yourself. See, we want to be sure not to make ourselves overly receptive to mind control techniques by always giving outside authorities the final say. So let's talk about how to discover and live your life purpose and mission here on Earth as a starseed or a lightworker. The first thing you need to do is to consult with your heart and your inner wisdom. Do you feel that you came here with a higher purpose? Do you feel that there is something more for you to do than just go to school, get a job, and live the typical cookie-cutter lifestyle that we have all been programmed to accept? And if the answer for you is yes, you do feel that there's something more for you to do, then here's what to do next. You need to expand your consciousness and realize that you are so much more than just this one lifetime. You came into this lifetime with a certain degree of knowledge that you derived from previous experiences in this universe. Of course, you probably don't have a conscious memory of those experiences because that is one of the failing points of life on this planet. Now, I know that some people say that we forget who we are because this is all a game, and you know, forgetting makes it so much more fun. You know, guys, if this is just a game, then it's kind of a stupid game. Having amnesia about important experiential knowledge does not make things more fun. It just makes things much more difficult. And no, it's actually not a game. It's a well-known system of human planetary slavery. See, the reason that we forget who we are is because it's been set up that way to make us much easier to control. You see, it's set up that way so that we don't have any reference points other than the ones that the controllers want us to have. That's how they get people to be so dedicated to this cookie cutter slave lifestyle. The way things are set up here, people literally don't know anything else. And the other reason that we are structured to forget who we are and all of our true experiences in this universe is so that anything at all can be installed in our minds and we won't have a way to know if it's valid or not in the wider scheme of things because we don't have the necessary reference points. See, they wanted to make sure that we didn't have any reference points that would enable us to compare what they're telling us to anything else. This is how slave planets are run. I mean, this is not really new. Now, when we incarnate here as lightworkers and starseeds, we are subject to the same slave system that everyone else here is subject to. So it's important to recognize and account for that. And you want to start by not identifying who you are with that system. And you also don't want to be identified with the false identity or ego that is required in order to be able to function in that system. Okay, so where are we now in this sequence of discovering and living your life's purpose and mission? Number one, you have ascertained for yourself if you feel in your heart that you are either a starseed or a lightworker or perhaps both. And number two, you have also determined that you came here with a higher purpose or mission. These two things serve as your foundation. It's what allows you to feel grounded and centered in this very strange situation that we find ourselves in on this planet. It's almost like viewing yourself as a visitor to this Earth, with the full acknowledgement that there are countless other planets and dimensions of life in this universe. In this way, you lessen your identity as a slave and increase your experience of your true identity as a cosmic being. It puts your feet on the ground in a whole new way, a way that has power instead of weakness. And once you've done that, then it's time to assess the situation on this planet in such a way that you are not identified with it. Remember that you came here to help. You did not come here to immerse yourself in the problem to the extent that you weaken yourself and completely forget why you're here. See, a spiritual awakening occurs when you wake up to the fact that you were not born to be a part of this system and this problem. When you realize that you were not born to be a slave. You realize that you came here with a purpose that is beyond the problem that this planet faces. So now you want to step back and take an overview of the larger situation. Now, currently, everything feels very stuck on this planet. That's because we are in the middle of a transition that involves AI. See, the Industrial Revolution was a time when the larger infrastructure was being built that would ultimately house the future development of AI. Then we had the Information Age. The purpose of that was primarily to get all of humanity hooked up to the internet, which is slated to function as the new planetary brain. And now that that has been accomplished, we are about to enter the age of technocracy. This will be the final stage before AI completely takes over. This upcoming age will be the age where technology is designed to control every single aspect of our lives. And that's what we're being transitioned into right now. The lockdowns, the fear, and the masks are all designed to shut down human life as we once knew it. We are being conditioned to erase our previous lives and to accept the new incoming age of technocracy. This is what the two major timelines are about on this planet. There is the AI timeline of false ascension or descension, and the true ascension that is in harmony with the natural world. So it is our role as lightworkers and starseeds to support the timeline of natural ascension. Now, right now, it appears that AI has the upper hand when it comes to our planet as a whole. But it's important to remember that Earth will definitely ascend at some point. It's just that it's not necessarily going to happen in the timing that we had hoped for. But our role in this process does not change. See, this planet as a sphere of consciousness is suffering right now. It is suffering from an alien AI takeover that is ruining the planet's energy and all of its life forms. It's like if you had a virus, you might feel really sick because something alien to your body was trying to take over. Well, right now, the Earth is sick with an alien energy that is not in harmony with its natural processes. So as lightworkers and starseeds, we can support the Earth with our consciousness and our energy. We can support the Earth by living as natural human beings who are connected to the planet and to the universe. This we can do by living from our hearts. We can do it by expressing love and appreciation for all natural life. We can do it by being kind and by showing compassion for the natural world. Now, let's talk about what to do if you feel called to devote your life to something special as a lightworker or a starseed. What if you feel that calling, but you don't know exactly what it is? In that case, the best thing to do is to look for signs and clues. Here's how to start. There are two things that you want to look at. The first thing is to recognize that you probably came to this planet with some very special and unique propensities and talents. In other words, there are probably things that you are naturally very good at. You can start by making a list of those special gifts that you naturally possess. What are the things that come easily to you? What do you feel that you are good at? Now, the second thing you want to do is to look for things that you feel passionate about. Ask yourself this question. If there was no such thing as money, what would you feel happy and inspired to do for free? What are some things that you are extremely interested in and are naturally motivated to learn about? Now, when you put these two things together, you are going to have some amazing clues standing right before you. So you are combining two pieces of information, the things you are naturally good at and the things that you feel passionate about. These two things represent your creative assets that form the basis for discovering your life's true purpose. Now, next, you want to start thinking creatively. Look for inspiration and consult with your heart about ways that you can combine these gifts and create a new line of work for yourself. See, it's really important that the inspiration come from within you, because that's the only way that you will be able to own your choices and follow through on your decisions. See, if you look to some outside authority to tell you what you should be doing, then as soon as you encounter any challenges, you are likely to give up, and you can easily lose your motivation. Now, I also want to add a word of caution about transitioning your life from a job to something else that is your passion. It's important that you have a realistic, reasonable plan and feel a deep sense of rightness in your choice. Now, I have occasionally heard a spiritual teacher suggest that people should just outright quit their job just because they want to, or just because they don't like it, but with no plan at all. And I've even heard some people use the rationale that it won't matter if you just quit your job without a plan because we're moving to 5D and everything's going to be awesome. Now, here's my advice if you hear something like that. If someone suggests that you should quit your job because of the new Earth and 5D that's coming, if I were you, I would wait and see if that actually pans out. And I only say that, you guys, because that goalpost has been moved so many times already. I would be very hesitant to trust your life with that promise at this point in time. But in the meantime, if you really do want to quit your job, just do yourself a big favor and don't do so blindly and recklessly in ways that you may come to deeply regret later on. You want to create a reasonable transition for yourself so that your change is sustainable. See, whatever your mission and purpose is, it's really important. You want to treat it as the sacred undertaking that it is and prepare your way with intelligence and with great care. And that's what will keep you empowered and strong and also aligned with the larger situation on this planet. And it will make it a whole lot easier for the universe to back you up. See, when you approach your mission and your purpose with the care and the consciousness that it deserves, you will also position yourself as a viable co-creator in the universe. And you will be honoring the sacredness of your physical incarnation to support this planet and its humanity in its time of great need. Now, I also have a free ebook and an MP3 download to go along with that about how to discover your life's purpose and to act on it. So if you want to get that, it's completely free. I'll put the link in the description below. So if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and share it out with anyone else who you think would find value in this information. And be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell because I am here every Sunday, Tuesday, and Friday with all new videos. And with that, I'm sending you so much love, light, and positive energy, and I so look forward to seeing you in the next video. Namaste.